Rain is speaking with a staff member from the corporation overseeing the mining colony. She explains that she has fulfilled her work quota and should now be allowed to leave. But the clerk informs her that, because of a shortage of laborers, she is not permitted to depart and will instead be reassigned to the mines. The system has already updated her quota, stating she will be released from her contract in 5 years. Later, Rain receives a message from her former partner, Tyler. When she and Andy, an android, arrive at Tyler's ship, the Corbelim, Tyler and his family reveal that a derelict spacecraft is drifting in orbit above the colony. This ship contains multiple hypersleep pods, and if they can salvage them, they might finally escape the colony. They contacted Rain because she can bring Andy, who can interface with the ship's computer and override any locks they encounter. The Corbelim soon launches. After a long journey, they locate the drifting vessel, only to realize it is actually a massive station. It is closer to the planet's rings than predicted, and calculations indicate it will crash in 36 hours. Tyler reassures everyone that they will be in and out within half an hour. Once the Corbelim docks, Tyler, Bjorn, and Andy board the station with a temporary scanner. Andy unlocks the first door, guiding them through a narrow corridor. The station's artificial gravity purges every few minutes, continually flicking on and off. The group eventually reaches a vast chamber filled with pods. They examine the pods but discover there is not enough fuel for the 9-year trip to the nearest planet. Tyler decides to transfer the pods to the Corbelim while he and his team search for additional fuel. Bjorn's sister, Navarro, pilots the ship and retrieves the pods without issue. Meanwhile, Rain tends to Tyler's sister, Kay, who is unwell. Alone with Rain, Kay confides that she is pregnant and asks her to keep it a secret. Inside the station, the trio hears a recording revealing that the station belongs to the Yutani Corporation. It is named Renaissance and divided into 2 sections, Romulus and Remus, names confirmed by murals on the walls. Moments later, they discover an abandoned but still functioning laboratory. Bjorn finds a stun rod and nearly falls into a hole in the floor, but Andy catches him. They also discover a damaged android and notice that both it and the hole show signs of chemical corrosion. They proceed to a cryo chamber where the door opens only halfway. The room inside is flooded. While Tyler and Bjorn attempt to recover the fuel, Bjorn freezes his fingers. Suddenly, an alarm sounds and the door seals, trapping them. Andy tries to override the lock but lacks the necessary clearance. A nearby computer reveals that frozen alien organisms, facehuggers, are beginning to awaken. Navarro and Rain hurry aboard the station to help. Rain finds the damaged android and attempts to transfer its credentials to Andy. The android suddenly reactivates and attacks, but Navarro disables it by removing its module. They pass the module through a gap in the cryo chamber door. Tyler installs it into Andy, who briefly freezes during reboot. At that moment, the facehuggers emerge, splashing into the water. One attacks Bjorn, but he tears it off and hurls it against the door. Another leaps at Tyler. Andy intervenes, helping Bjorn fend it off with the stun rod. As Tyler loses consciousness in the water, Andy kills another facehugger and finally opens the door. The group escapes, but the creatures cooperate to force the door open again. They flee into another room and seal it, but one facehugger slips through and latches onto Navarro's face. Removing it by force would kill her. Andy calmly explains that the creature is providing her with oxygen to keep her alive. His speech is noticeably sharper and more confident, an effect of the new module. Rain realizes this, but Andy stops her from removing it, claiming he has been updated. He suggests reactivating the damaged android for assistance. When revived, the android identifies itself as Science Officer Rook and coldly advises killing Navarro because the facehugger is implanting an embryo. He reveals that this station once recovered the Nostromo's wreck, whose entire crew was wiped out by a xenomorph. Now dead and hanging from the hull's cables, its acid caused the widespread destruction. Rook had sealed the station after the creature died, but too late. Rain proposes using cryonic liquid to freeze the facehugger. Tyler fires the liquid, the creature's tail loosens, and they remove it from Navarro. The facehugger escapes through the hole. Rook warns there is a 60% chance an embryo remains inside Navarro. Andy argues they should not take her back, and Bjorn strikes him aside. Rain stays to assist Andy while Bjorn drags Navarro away. Andy realizes Bjorn is sealing doors to trap them and tries to hold one open, but Bjorn escapes and leaves Andy, Rain, and Tyler behind. Navarro detaches the Corbolum, but soon becomes ill. A scan reveals an alien embryo within her. She convulses, and a chestburster erupts, killing her. With no pilot, the ship drifts and crashes into the station, igniting a fuel tank and destabilizing the structure. Now the station will plunge into the rings in 47 minutes. Rain and Tyler search for a way back to their ship, but encounter a swarm of facehuggers. Meanwhile, Rook checks that the station's Z01 compound remains intact and manipulates Andy's updated directive to complete the mission for Weyland-Yutani. Andy reunites with Rain and Tyler and shares what he has discovered. The facehuggers are blind and hunt by heat, so they raise the room's temperature to blend in. Carefully, they cross a chamber filled with bodies. On the Corbolum, Kay awakens and explores, discovering a xenomorph cocoon. Bjorn finds her and attacks the cocoon, but the emerging creature slashes him with its tail, and its acid fatally burns him. Kay flees, but falls through the hatch into the station's hangar, attracting the facehuggers. Trio rushes to help, distracting the aliens with a flare before sealing the door. Andy closes it with perfect timing, insisting he calculated their safe passage. With 30 minutes left, sprinklers activate in the hangar. Kay hides as the xenomorph prowls. When she tries to open a door, an alarm sounds. The trio arrive, but Andy refuses to open it, sensing the creature lying in wait and using Kay as bait. Just again. Rain pleads, revealing Kay's pregnancy, but Andy will not risk the mission. The xenomorph eventually drags Kay away. Furious, Rain confronts Andy. He admits his directive prioritizes the company, forces Rain and Tyler into an elevator, explaining he must complete the mission so Rook will open the hangar door. In a lab, they find capsules of a strange black fluid. Rook appears on screen, explaining that Weyland-Yutani created the station to study the aliens and use their fluids to enhance humans. A recorded experiment shows a mortally injured rat injected with the compound instantly healing before mutating into a monster. Andy collects the compound samples, but Rain notices a xenomorph approaching on camera. He arms them with pulse rifles, warning that alien blood is acidic enough to breach the hull. As they move forward, they discover a full alien hive. Tyler hears Kay's voice and charges in. Rain follows to find cocooned bodies, including Kay's. Andy notes she has not yet been implanted. Her pulse is weak, so he offers the compound, but Rain refuses, insisting on cryogenic treatment. Xenomorph attacks. Tyler shields Rain and is fatally impaled. The creature uses his body to strike Andy and drags Tyler into the hive, where more aliens kill him. Rain and Kay escape by elevator. Rain, determined to avenge her brother, leaves Kay and the samples at the hangar and heads back. Kay injects herself with the compound. With 10 minutes left, Rain resets Andy to his original programming. Together, they battle waves of xenomorphs. Rain disables gravity, so the aliens' acidic blood floats harmlessly. Andy helps her slaughter every creature. They climb the elevator shaft, but a xenomorph seizes Rain. She fires, but acid eats through the door, creating a vacuum. Andy drops the elevator, crushing the aliens and sealing the breach. Another xenomorph and a facehugger advance. Andy grabs a rifle and kills both. Countdown ends as the station slides into the rings. Rain and Andy reach the Corbolum, finding Kay unconscious. Rain launches the ship just before the station is destroyed, cutting Rook off permanently. She places Andy's damaged body in a cryopod, promising to repair him. Preparing her own pod, she notices critical vitals on the screen and checks Kay, who screams as the compound accelerates her pregnancy. A xenomorph-like cocoon bursts open, acid dripping through the floor. The ship detects a breach and switches to manual control. Rain arms herself with a freezing ray and follows the creature's trail. The fully grown hybrid attacks Andy, killing him, and feeds on Kay. Rain's weapon malfunctions but creates enough frost to distract the creature. She retreats, dons a spacesuit, and prepares to eject the cargo bay. The creature lunges, cracking in her helmet. Rain cuts the bay free, sending the monster hurtling into the planet's rings. she manages to return to the ship as it escapes danger. Finally, she removes Andy's memory and places him in a cryopod. Later, she also enters her own, hoping they will reach a habitable planet alive. Please like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.